Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sewing and Reaping YouTube channel. I'll just show my face real quick so you can all know it's me. And what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to talk about giving Shanny some advice about work, about what she can do, while she's home, laying on her bed with her fibromyalgia and all the pain that she's going through. Uh, it's actually one of her old jobs that she used to do. So let me real quick show everybody what I'm talking about. This is gonna be an interesting one because I've never responded to this ever. So I'm gonna do it for the first time today. So let's get to this today. I've seen the video before, but I never really responded to it. So let's get to it. What I want to do, Shanny used to do porn, and neither Shanny or Rev have ever called this out as being sin or anything like that. So they believe that this is something that they can do. But I've noticed that neither of them have tried to do this again. Why am I making this an issue? Listen to this.
What up? Sorry for the coughing. I got a little coffee today. How are you, my people? I have a very important announcement that I didn't say, but I have been kind of lingering on for the last few weeks. I quit my porn.
That's right. Shanny and Rev used to be porn stars. And that's not anything new or anything like that. But apparently they made some money doing this. I mean, at least it was going to work and actually making some money doing it. But Shanny's going to reveal the reason why she stopped doing it. It was because, God didn't like what they were doing. God, frowned upon it. It was sin. And they wanted to bring honor to God. I'm pretty sure that's what she's going to say. Actually, that's not what she's going to say.
For various reasons. Even though I was very successful at it, and I thank everyone who.
So, Shanny, if you were successful at it, that means you made the millions and the millions, and you made the millions of dollars doing what you're doing. So, I'm pretty sure you can go back to doing this and actually make a living instead of sitting there begging on YouTube all the time and using Rev's family.
Bought my OnlyFans, thank you.
For all the people that bought her OnlyFans, you're some sick people.
It was first of all, Jason was beginning to feel uncomfortable with it.
So the first reason is that they retired from porn is that Rev felt uncomfortable with it, hence all of the baby carrot jokes and all that other stuff and whatnot. So that's the first reason. The first reason was Rev was feeling uncomfortable with it. Okay, let's continue to listen to this.
And I ended up getting sick, and that completely stopped it and halted it to a complete stop.
So she got sick, and it completely halted it to a complete stop. So far, we got Rev wasn't comfortable with it, and she got sick, and that's why she retired from it. I know a lot of people that go to work sick, and a lot of people would usually, take off a couple of days, they call sick days and everything, feel better, and then go back to work. You know what I mean? Shanny, listen to me. Prostitution on the street is a booming industry. You know what I mean? You should try it.
Because,
by the way, for all the people out there that's thinking, gee, man, why are you on here as a Christian promoting prostitution and all of that? I'm not doing nothing like that. I'm actually making a point that I'll make when this is all over. You'll see. Watch to the end.
When you don't feel good, you don't feel sexy. And I remember making my last video was me doing a live stream in the bath talking about how it's not sexy when you're not feeling good.
So again, she wasn't feeling good, and she and I'm sorry, and then Rev didn't like doing it. So let me get this straight here, Shanny, because I know you're gonna watch this. You stopped doing porn, porn for Jesus. I think that's what you and Rev called it, right? Being naughty for Christ or whatever, right? You stopped doing it because Rev felt uncomfortable, and you stopped doing it because you didn't feel good. Okay, all right. So this is not repentance. That means you would actually go back to doing this if you could, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. Listen.
But it gave me time to think.
There's a lot of dirty old people on here that would love themselves a nice 39-year-old lady like yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of 95, 98, 102-year-old people that would give you a couple of dollars, you know what I mean, for you to go back to this industry or whatever, you know what I mean, since it was booming and it was doing so good. Because if I got to go by what other people on this internet told me, I think you only made about $8 doing this. I mean, but at least you worked for it.
And made me realize that God teaches you sometimes to show compassion toward others in weird ways, and I think that's why he threw me in the porn business. Like
God, the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, actually, I'll put it to you this way. You're right. God did throw you into the porn industry. The God of this world threw you into the porn industry. Satan threw you into the porn industry. But the Lord Jesus Christ didn't have anything to do with that. Absolutely nothing. Whenever one of us find ourselves in some sexual deviance or something like that, I can promise you this, the Lord wasn't involved in that one bit. He didn't throw you into nothing. You threw yourself into it, and you allowed the devil to fill your head up with a bunch of nonsense, thinking people was actually going to watch this garbage.
Like he did is so I could have compassion for those who do pornography and not be a judgmental twat burger over it. Because I was horrible to Trisha Paytas over her going in porn, and I understand why she did it, and I'm sorry forever.
I noticed that ever since you made Rev, you used that opportunity to be with him to try to do everything that your little dirty, disgusting heart desired. You know, you paid all this money to go meet a YouTuber for what? For what I understand, what was it? Oh, about 5 minutes or whatever. What was it? $1,000 for a 5-minute conversation, which I would never do for anybody on YouTube, and I mean anybody. And when I say anybody, I wouldn't do that for anybody on the internet. It's not worth it. Doesn't make any economic sense. What else did you get to do? You obviously you did this or whatever. You got to dress up like you was a goth going to some concert or whatever. You got to do a lot of weird things since you got involved with Rev and you got all that money, showing us who the real Shanny was at the end of the day.
Treating you like that. I was a skankwad. I'm gonna not ever do that again and judge people like that.
You actually, Shanny, this is back. I think what was this back in 2020? I believe you judged this on multiple occasions. As a matter of fact, Rev said that he doesn't think there's anything wrong with doing it. And if I'm not mistaken, you get on Rev's case for watching it. See, Rev can participate in it if he's doing it with you, or if you want another person to join you. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe you wanted Dragon, his wife, to join your disgusting thing that you guys was doing or whatever. And if you want to do that, it was all fine and well, because I certainly wasn't going to get involved in anything like that, because I ain't stupid and I ain't crazy. But look at that thumbnail. But anyway, but you're not going to be judgmental. You judge poor Rev all the time on that topic. Cut the baloney.
Do porn because I understand how it works.
Watching porn, participating in porn is sin, Shanny. Okay. Now, if you're not a Christian and you're watching that stuff and whatnot, that's all fine and well with you and everything. I recommend you don't. It's sinful, and it will get you thrown into the lake of fire if you continue to do it without repenting. You know what I mean? But Shanny, you're claiming you're a Christian and you're claiming that God threw you into the porn industry. No, that's not the case.
Works now. And I'm happy I have that understanding how it works now.
Well, so Shanny, I'm curious, when you said that you worked so hard and you bust your behind and you was working to provide for your family, I'm curious, is this one of the jobs that you was talking about? Because there's literally only one other video on YouTube, only one job on YouTube that I saw you at, and that's the one where you got fired at. The job where you got fired is on Fundy Archive, where you lost your job because you made a video in the hallway when you were supposed to be working. That is literally the only two jobs you had. And you still got Rev on here talking about something you were working. Yeah, Rev can't tell us 2 or 3 jobs that you had. Actually, that's not true. There was another video that just came to my memory. It's not going to be on Fundy Archive, I don't think. I think a video like this is going to be found on one of those channels where they challenged Shanny. You know who might have it? It might be Holy Spackle or Alex Botten on one of those guys. because she used to respond to a lot of them. It's possible. But Shanny was coming home from working at a supermarket. I remember that video because I remember very specifically what Shanny said that a lot of black guys are looking at her butt on her way home or whatever. You know what I mean? She used to tell me that over the phone before she got involved with Rev or whatever, which was hilarious. But yeah, Shanny, you say you did all this work and whatnot, yet I only have this video. The video I was talking about when you was walking home in Duluth from the supermarket, and a video where you was working at a nursing place or whatever, and you got fired there because you was making YouTube videos. What's all these jobs that you had? But anyway, Shanny, my recommendation for you is if you must live in sin, if you must continue to lie and say Rev is your husband, if you must continue to get on here and con people out of their money, if you must pretend to be their friends so that you can get $50 from them, $20 from them, $40 from them, or whatever, if you must continue to do that, why don't you go back and doing this since you were so successful at doing it?
Another reason was
I'm being so mean to you, Shanny, regarding this topic. I've done some research on narcissism, and I believe that one of the best ways to deal with a narcissist is to completely and utterly destroy their ego. And I mean absolutely pulverize it. I think that's the best way to go about doing it. You keep getting on here saying you worked and 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 you worked. No, you did not. No, you did not. But according to you in this video, you said you were very successful at this. I think you can afford an OnlyFans and you can go back to doing that again. I'm pretty sure you can get 2 people this time to actually watch you do it this time instead of the one that paid the $8. And I'm still curious about who that person was.
Watching Tila Tequila, and she was talking about airing.
And that's after you reduced the price multiple times.
Harder opening up an OnlyFans, and how sad he is and how sad he looks, and it was just like,
oh shit!
It broke my
great idea. In all seriousness, how about this a minute? Hold on. How about this? You did a show a long time ago called what was that mess called? It was called Why Do You Hate Me? It's on this channel actually of Fat Courtney Love. I believe it's on this channel. If it's not on here, it's definitely on XX Archive, right? But you did a show where you and Rev invited people into the room and they was able to come in the room and talk about why they didn't like you. Why don't you charge a fee? I mean, you don't want to accept money to come to people's channels. Why don't you charge $5 per person? And believe me, there'll be a lot of people if you did it. $5 per person for them to come into your room that you control, where you can talk about all these videos that's being made about you. I mean, I can go to that channel right now and I can show as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that too, just to show everybody what I'm talking about. But first, let her talk about a little bit more why she retired from porn, since she was so successful at doing it.
My heart, and it's like, why am I doing this? My husband doesn't want to do it anymore because it makes him feel uncomfortable, and I don't want him to do something that makes him feel uncomfortable. I was beginning to feel really uncomfortable doing it. Like, it was taking me a long time to get off, and it never used to be a problem with me getting off. But with the camera on me,
sometimes I'm tempted to get on her on how she doesn't use a G at the end of her words. I don't do that because I know sometimes when I speak, I do the same thing with the way I pronounce words sometimes. So I'm not going to do that. But Shanny, that is annoying, and I wish you would address that.
I was constantly worrying about how I looked instead of worrying about how I feel, and it really, really.
Notice what we were doing was wrong. That never came out of her mouth. What we were doing was not bringing glory to God. That never came out of her mouth. She never said that that Christians aren't supposed to be doing these kind of things. None of them things came out of her mouth at all. None of it. You know what I mean? So, Shanny, you obviously think this is okay. So I've always been curious why you didn't try to go do this again with all these eyeballs that you claim that you got on you, being such royalty and superstars that you guys claim you are.
Interfered in my orgasms.
By the way, Shanny, how was you able to do this with fibromyalgia osteoarthritis, and debilitating pain when you couldn't get up and walk. See, I never watched your stuff, but I am curious how you was able to do all of that with all of the pain that you was going through. Just curious.
And it was fun to begin with, but then it was just like, why am I doing this? I'm just doing this to just put out videos and content. I'm not doing this because...
Or maybe you stopped doing it because everybody said that Rev had a baby carrot or whatever, maybe. I don't know. Not 100% sure. Maybe you stopped doing it because nobody was watching you. Maybe because only 2 people. No, actually, I think it was only one person who actually watched you. And that only person that kept talking about it over and over and over, it must have been Dragnut. I think he's the only person that was dumb enough to spend $8 to watch you to watch any of the things that you were doing.
It's fun. I'm feeling like crap, you know? And then I started seeing other girls within the business and how some of them...
You mean the prostitution business, right? Because that's what porn is. You're paying them for sexual favors, right? You do know that, right? You're paying money to watch a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man have sex. To me, that's the same thing as prostitution. You're paying for sex. So you're in the prostitution business, right? So I don't know why you don't go back to it, since you don't think there's anything wrong with it, Shanny. And again, Shanny, you might think I'm being sarcastic and I'm just being evil and vindictive by what I'm saying here, but there's a method to my madness. You and Rev keep getting on here talking about you're Christians, and you have never once called what you did here at this time sin. Not one time. You never called it sin, ever. Even Christians who slip up and watch this stuff, they know it's sin when they're doing it. But to participate in it and not to call it that, you're delusional.
Them do it just because they financially have to do it and they're not having fun.
During this particular time, you had to do it because you was going broke. You ain't running game over here, Shanny. We all know that.
Chapatis is one of them. She does not have fun on her OnlyFans. She looks miserable the whole time, and she has so many people watching her, and it looks very forced and humiliating
and disgusting, and nobody wouldn't want somebody cheap like that. At least I know I wouldn't.
It's not good content at all. It's sad. And then
you want to know what be great content, Shanny, since I'm the only person that, between you, Rev, and myself, that can actually help you actually rejuvenate your career on social media, is you need to actually go back to doing the show where you said, "Why do you hate me?" Go ahead and do that and charge a fee that people have to pay you up front to come into your room. I would love to be one of those people. Trust me on that. I would love it because I know what to say and I know how to say it.
Got like super boss lady Lena the Plug. And let me just say, she puts out awesome fucking content. If you want pornography, Lena the Plug is where it's at.
You know what I'm saying? She's even telling you where you can get awesome porn from. So obviously she didn't think this was wrong. So Shanny, why don't you do this for a living, Shanny? I mean, think about it. The boys ain't there no more. What's stopping you this time from doing porn out of your home? Are you so lazy that you're not willing to do this either, Shanny? Gee, man, why are you promoting this? Why are you promoting her to do? No. I'm proving a point that Shanny is lazy. She's not injured. She ain't going through no pain. And she's just looking for some sugar daddy to do all the work for her. That's what she's looking for. She won't even go back and do this. She's so lazy. So, Shanny, before you beat up Rev saying Rev won't go get a job, you're an adult too. You won't go get a job either. Because if you think this is all about Rev working, you're crazy. You told everybody on social media that if the money ran out, you was gonna get a job. Hey, listen, the prostitution business is always looking for some cheap hoochie mama to be able to go out there and offer their body up for nothing. If you want to go do that, you can, or you can repent, Shanny, and never do this garbage again. I would love to see a video by you, Shanny, where you actually saying that this was wrong. And this is one of the reasons why you're going through what you're going through right now. Talking about you best friends with God. Your best friend, if that was true, is the one that's putting you through all of this. You want to know why? Because you're sinning. You refuse to repent. You refuse to acknowledge that it. I mean, you refuse to acknowledge it was even wrong.
You know, and then you have the other ones like Nikado Avocado, and it's just nothing but dick pics. Just if you want to see Nikado's avocado, just yeah, go ahead and do that for OnlyFans. But really, ultimately, it wasn't the money why I quit it, because the money was decent.
Yeah, the money was about $8. It was pretty decent. $8 is a lot of money. I mean, back in 2020, $8 can get you a soda. You know, actually, no. $8 can probably get you a 12-pack, I think. Yeah. It was some good money. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Decent. It's like, hey, this is a little extra money in my pocket.
That's right. It's a little extra money. You know, put your body out there for next to nothing. Yeah, it's definitely a little extra money. Can't pay that rent, the rent where you guys are living. They can't feed the kids. Can't do any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, $8, you know? I mean, Red would later tell everybody you haven't made enough to do nothing when y'all had that big fight.
It was decent. It wasn't about that. It really just killed our libido, and it killed us.
I believe you guys was in your 30s. Wasn't you about 33 or something like that? And Rev was about 30, about the same age or something like that. 35 or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't a man in his sexual prime when he gets to 40 or whatever? If he's still in his 30s, he should be gung-ho and all that stuff. He should be a beast in the bedroom at that time, right? So how's it killing your libido? No, I think Rev got tired of being called the baby carrot. I think that's what it was. You couldn't defend him because secretly you agree with Dragnut and you agree with everybody on here that was saying that about him. Okay. And by the way, Shanny, I'm not joining the, you know, talking about his size of his whatever or whatever. I'm not joining that because I'm a firm believer that is not about that. That is about the motion of the ocean. And any woman who's ever been with a real man would know that. Anyway, let's continue.
Spontaneity in our sex life, and that's something that we were just always like really good at. Is just the spontaneous, just powerful. Like,
so anyway, Shanny didn't think there was anything wrong with doing this. Ugh, I don't want to listen to no more of this. Ugh. Anyway, so let me show everybody what I think she should do as a career since you don't want to do this here. Where is it? I want to show you what happened when Shanny had a spine, and I'm not going to play the whole thing. This is going to be a short video today. All right. But Shanny will face her enemies if the price is right. You know what I mean? She just won't go to somebody else's platform. Wait a minute, is that The Rock? That's Kurt Angle and Sherry. Ugh. Okay, hold on. You Hate Me, Part 1. Oh, brother. Wow, Shanny. They must have took that video down. Shanny, for Christ. Oh, here we go. This is XX Archive. I can't find it. Okay, so I'm going to show everybody what I'm talking about. This is when they was claiming that they were Fallen Angel, Saldafon, and Metatron, and all this other nonsense. So let me show everybody what I'm talking about regarding this here real quick. Shannon, this is something else you could do for a living, Shannon. I'm pretty sure people would be willing to pay for this if you figured out how you can do this on your phone, because I believe that this is the only way you can do it. You can use your phone, find a way to invite multiple people into your room using your phone and facing your enemies. Check this out.
Well, we have the bingo winged individual here.
You know what, Shandy? I tell you what I'm going to do. Rev did give me a lot of laptops, and I don't want to hear no excuses. If you're willing to do shows like this where you actually face the people that's making these accusations against you, just tell me and I'll send you a laptop or something like that. I got no problem with that.
He feels like being a salami
the show
today.
Is Why Do You Hate Me? She invited her enemies into the room, and they talked it out on why they hated her, why they didn't like her. And I believe in this episode, Deidre came in here. Yep, the Holy Spack. I think Dragnut came into this room too, I think. Let me see something. Yep, let's go to Dragnut. Let's go to Drag. Here we go. Let's go to Mr. Brokenut. Let's go to him real quick.
There you go. You're a big boy now.
Oh, hi there, man. That
being a
took
big
forever.
boy.
Wow, that took forever. That's
Well,
amazing.
I'm sorry, but
Now,
you
see
have to
this.
wear a
Shanny
shirt.
will actually face her haters. She will face her haters if she thinks she can make a coin doing it. You understand? So, Shanny, why don't you do a show like this again and face your haters? And let's see how you did against Broke Nut when you were taking him on.
On my channel. Don't disrespect me like that.
Oh, disrespect. That's an interesting concept, Shanny. It's almost like that's something that you don't understand. That's interesting.
No, you have to respect my boundaries, sir, because you like to go over people's boundaries just to try to get one up on them.
How exactly do I do that? Maybe I'm
Everyone
wrong.
sees it. Don't deny it with your little face.
Who is everyone?
My people, they see it.
The people in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How about this? How about we play a game? Let's do a straw poll and see how many people agree with me versus you. You want to do that?
Okay.
I think that's fair.
You know how to set up a straw poll?
Why should I? No, I'm not going to let you tell me what to do, sir.
It was a suggestion. It wasn't a command.
Right.
No, it was a command in your little manipulative, narcissistic way.
Of course it was.
So-
How everybody's a narcissist except for Shanny.
I have a question. What is your mental illnesses so I know how to associate with you correctly?
And why does everybody, I realize I got some people on my channel that might agree with her on that topic here, but I want y'all to know up front, I don't agree with this nonsense that everybody's got a mental illness. I do not agree with that. Just so y'all know that. She just automatically assumed that everybody's got a mental illness. Now, she might be talking about Drag's handicap because he's openly admitted that he's injured from the military and can't work. And I called that baloney out long before he graduated and got a job. Nobody listened to me. Well, lo and behold, he just magically got better and he magically started working.
They're some of the same ones that you have.
Really?
You have borderline personality disorder?
Some of the same ones.
Do you have borderline personality disorder?
No, I do not.
Oh,
Okay. Do you have PTSD?
Yes, I do.
Well, why are you a bastard toward me knowing that I have PTSD?
Oh, because PTSD isn't an excuse for someone's behavior. That's why.
No, it's not your job to question my behavior. That is my psychologist.
Anyone can question anyone's behavior, Shanny.
Another thing that's weird about this, Shanny will spend 3 parts of this judging other people's behaviors while telling everybody not to judge her behavior. Absolutely hilarious.
Well, should I question your behavior and why you're
Absolutely.
questioning my behavior? Why do you question my behavior?
Impugning someone's motives and questioning behavior are kind of two different things.
Why do you question my behavior?
Because you act abhorrently.
Why do I act abhorrently?
Because you were raised by wolves.
Why was I raised by wolves?
Because you had the unfortunate circumstance of not being told to stay out of the fucking fridge.
And why was that, sir?
Because somebody decided at some point.
So anyway, Shanny, you was able to take all these insults from Dragnut while this show actually went on. You was able to take these insults directly from Drag. Why is it that you are incapable of doing a show now in dealing? I mean, like I'm just picturing you and Rev going live, and the two of you got your little microphones again with your hair all oily and whatnot, and Rev looking all frail and can't go outside and play with his friends and everything and whatnot. Got to whisper because you don't want the uncle to get mad and all that stuff and whatnot. And I'm trying to picture the two of you talking, and Draven comes in the room. The girl from Norway comes in the room. Carrie comes into the room. Carrie's husband comes into the room. Holy Spackle comes into the room. And everybody that's ever had an issue, G-Man comes into the room. Will come in the room and all question you about the things that you have done. I mean, if you can take these insults from Dragnut, certainly you can deal with the rest of the community. Because I think out of everybody, Dragnut's probably hurled the worst insults at you than anyone. Why don't you charge $5 a head? It ain't $5 ain't gonna break nobody. You just make sure you let people go into the room, because if you don't, they're gonna flag your Cash App for lying. Let them go into the room and ask you whatever they want to ask you. Since you ain't got nothing to hide and everybody's lying about you and everything.
Time that they wanted to give you anything that you wanted, and that was a poor mistake.
Oh, so you have no reasons.
No,
You're just
that's
saying
plenty of
things.
reasons. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
were
you
an
just
adult.
threw out senseless allegations, sir. Here, my husband wants
All right,
to
well,
talk.
just let me ask you, Greg. It's good to see you in the room. Just let me ask you a question quick. So issue number one is her weight.
Oh, not my issue. That's her issue. I'm not going to lose a leg.
Okay.
Kind of funny. I know that Drag. I'm sorry that Shanny like weighs about 600 pounds and everything and whatnot, but Drag wasn't no stick figure himself. And it's funny how he can go out there and make these jokes when he himself isn't really a stick figure himself. And you know what I find weird? He's actually wearing a shirt in this video. Normally he's got to show them man boobs to try to get Shanny going.
Okay, so number one, Drag, you know why she gained weight, right?
Because she can't control herself.
No, because she had 2 kids and it blew her body out.
My mother had 4 kids and she doesn't.
Yeah, I don't care. That's what happened with
I
her.
know you don't care.
That's
kind
what
of
happened with her genetics, though. Okay, so
Yeah. Oh,
that's
okay.
not an issue. Her weight's not an issue. So let's move
Okay.
on. Let's go next.
All right, next thing.
Because she
Well, Rev definitely wouldn't be able to handle people coming into the room questioning him because he couldn't even handle people getting on Shanny about her weight because, he feels like he's got to defend her honor and everything and whatnot because 2 kids would definitely do this to you. A woman can have 50 kids and won't look like that, but 2 kids did it to her. Who figures? Go figure.
she's still losing weight, Drag. You know what I mean?
Of course.
All right. So go ahead. Issue 2.
Issue 2 is that Shanny can never, at any point in time, ever be accountable for her own action. There's always an
She
excuse.
apologized for saying the N-word, bro.
Apologizing is not taking
Accusing me with
responsibility.
have you noticed that everything he's saying are blatant accusations with no viable truth behind them? They're just blatant accusations out there.
Really?
Yes, they are. I know you're trying to manipulate the audience, Drag, and the audience knows you're manipulating people too.
You want to do a straw poll and ask them?
I don't need to ask people because you know what? I know they'll validate and have all their million of stock accounts, honey.
Your
I'm
belief
talking
is
to you.
reality.
I'm not talking to other people. I'm talking to you, baby.
Okay.
Baby.
We're going to talk to people one at a time. So just know that.
If this was a woman and Rev called that woman a baby, this woman would be mad as I don't know what, but Rev don't care. Rev don't care. Shanny, I would love. Actually, I'll leave the question you because I already know what you're gonna say.
Okay. Well, don't say that the audience out there believes X when you don't have evidence for it.
Right. That's fine. That's fine. But I just had one question. Could I?
I think I have plenty of evidence about my life.
That's Rev's microphone. I think he paid a good amount of money for that microphone, Shanny. That's his microphone. He paid for it. It's like he paid for everything else in that house. Don't be trying to snatch his microphone away from him. That's not your husband. You don't have financial rights to that microphone. You can't take him to court to get to say that microphone's yours when he hasn't said I do to you yet. I'm gonna tell you, Shanny, you were dumb by not marrying him when he had all that. You were just dumb.
Okay, Shanny, can I ask you a question from me? How is he manipulating people right now? I don't see that.
Listen to the questions. They're vague questions meant to say things. He's also manipulating the audience by saying he's not giving me actually reasons why he has a beef with me.
I want to see Shanny here, Rev here, and Carrie here. I want to see that so bad it's not even funny. I want to see Shanny, I want to see Rev, and I want to see Carrie. But you want to know what I want to see just as much? Shanny, Rev, and Teddy Bear right here. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. I think that would be comedy gold to be able to see that.
They're just vague accusations. Like, why? Give me a scenario what I've done regarding your allegations.
Okay,
Right.
I don't even need Drag to say anything for this one. You called me the N-word. You called Life of a Free Spirit the N-word. You didn't call him the N-word 15 times yet, because that would happen later on. You called multiple people on here the N-word, and you defended other people on here who used the N-word. You said that you're not sorry for making the racist jokes, and that you wanted to normalize racism in order to get rid of it. Okay, that's one. Then the second thing is you spent the majority of Rev's money. You know what I mean, and you beat him up when whenever you guys get into an argument or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, don't even get me started. I could talk about that for the next hour.
So you calling me a rapist, a pedophile?
I think you are, because I see you as a threat to women
Okay, well,
because
you
of your
see me
actions
as a
and your
threat.
words.
So
You put out red flags, sir.
Okay.
And
So-
you put out red flags. You are creepy. Notice that you were the first one that came on to this channel. You were the
And
first one because it shows your intentions.
you invited people to talk to you. who
I
had
know,
an
and you were conveniently the first one. Why is that? And
If
you
I
put
was
out
the
all
second
these
one, what would that
vague
mean?
accusations on me. You didn't actually give a real scenario. You just put out railway accusations meant, because I know you're probably on your other channel streaming this.
Not at all.
So it's meant to make your audience laugh, but there's no seed of truth to what you actually say about your beef with me.
Really?
You can't be serious with anyone in conversation. It's kind of sad, Drag.
It's weird that I've gotten as far as I have in life, yet I can't be serious in conversations.
Honey, that's a manipulated statement right there. Do you know
It's
why it's a
demonstrably
manipulated
true.
statement?
That's what that is. That's the phrase.
No, you didn't answer the question for straightforward. You're just like, well, I got forward in life. Well,
If
just because you got forward in life doesn't mean anything about your behavior, sir.
Is that juicer?
You just got forward in life. You just survived.
No,
All right,
Shanny,
we're gonna go see this other one. I think this is celebrity.
Forever. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can ask is just respect me as a human being.
Fair.
Positively godless, her ex-boyfriend, her ex-lover. Positively godless.
Perception.
Anyway, Shanny, you can actually go and you can actually do this, Shanny, and you can actually make money, Shanny, actually doing this. Like, just do a show with you and Rev asking the audience, why do you hate me? Why do you talk about it so much? And you can actually make some money doing that. $5 a head. Think about that a minute. If you allow 200 people, I mean, Shanny, you can make bank. You can make bank if you can just charge $5 a head. Stop being a coward. Stop being a little wimp. And actually face these people that's talking all the smack about you. What about you, Rev? Why don't you man up? Why don't you be like, I don't know, this is other person on YouTube that is quick, real quick to confront people when they come after him. His name is G-Man. Why don't you be like him and get that link out to everyone and allow people to have a chat with you? Charge $5. $2. How about that? $2. You can charge $2. 100 people come in, you'll make $200. Let me think about it, Rev. You gotta look at it like that. You gotta stop being a little wimp. You gotta stop being a little crybaby instead of getting on here every other video. People hating on us. People hate on me all the time. There are people probably right now in my live chat hating on me, and I could care less. Because that ain't why I'm on social media. And I can handle myself. I can defend myself. I know when I do something wrong on here, I got to admit it. And when I do something right, I know how to accept it. You know what I mean? But why don't you just invite people into your channel? I mean, you got that Instagram. You're trying to make it grow and all this other stuff. Instead of using it to panhandle and beg, why don't you just do these shows? And charge a fee. It's as simple as that. Do that. I mean, think about all of the hamburgers and hot dogs and pizzas and sodas. Think about all the food you can eat. And if Shanny wasn't such a baby, she wasn't such a wimp, she wasn't such a fake feminist, she can go on Draven's channel, she can go on Carrie's channel and other people's channels, and she can actually confront them on their platform. I mean, I've seen Carrie go off of her channel. I believe there's a video. As a matter of fact, didn't Carrie go on Carrie went on what's her name? One Bad Issues channel. Okay, I've seen Carrie leave her channel and go on other platforms. Hey, Shanny, what happened to your spine? Like, what happened to your... Well, actually, I can't ask you that, although I probably should, because consider the gender issues here on YouTube. But Rev, what happened to your testicular fortitude, dude? Like, honestly. I mean, stop hiding in your little corner. Stop pretending to be traumatized. And that same energy you use to stand up to Rev, stand up to everybody else on here. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. And I think for you, it will feel invigorating for you to stand up for yourself and to man up and stop being a low value man and actually be somebody that's got a little bit of value. And Shanny, you would actually, if you can actually make money doing that, you could actually move an inch up the totem pole from being a low value woman to being a slightly higher low value woman. You know, $2 a person. $2 a person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, Shanny, there are 2 job openings that I know that I'm fully aware of. The first job opening is prostitution. You said yourself that there was nothing wrong with porn. You and Rev never said there was anything to repent, and you think there's nothing wrong with doing it. So, I mean, all you got to do is lay on your back. You know what I mean? All Rev's got to do is actually, censor his member or whatever, You can go back to doing that, or you can admit, Shanny, that the reason why you're hiding from everybody, the reason why you won't go back to doing that is because you know that everything that you was doing back in those days was wrong. It was sin, and you know it was. You just need to admit it. Your problem, your biggest problem, Shanny, is that you don't know how to admit when you sin. I can't remember the last time you admitted you did anything that was inherently sinful. And you can call me a Pharisee, you can call me whatever you want. You can't escape this issue. Romans 3:23 still exists, honey. All have sinned has fallen short of the glory of God. So stop walking around here acting like you're God's gift to the planet. Get on here and start admitting that you've been wrong. Or since you made all of this money doing it, why don't you go back to doing it? I'm sure that little $16 that you'll make this time will be even better, Because I promise you, it's probably going to be one person that's going to be willing to pay the fee where they can get that information to the reaction people and they're going to laugh at you. Or you can do a show where you can pay people, where you can tell people $2 to come on there and actually deal with you. I'll tell you another way you can do it, since you can't do it with your phone probably. What you can do is you can do your show. And if you can get your hands on another one of those government phones, they can call in and talk to you. I mean, wouldn't it be great if you could actually get Drader to be serious for a minute with you, talk about something other than the warts, and actually have a conversation with him about why he hates you? I don't know what's going on with this generation, but Shanny and Rev, the two of you need to grow a spine. Stand up for yourselves. Stop letting everybody just bulldoze all over you two losers. You know what I mean? And actually stand up for yourself. Confront people. There is a time for everything. In Ecclesiastes, it says it's a time for everything. And I think you're hiding. That time's up. You got to start confronting people for your own mental health. If you ain't got nothing to hide and you ain't do nothing wrong, confront your enemies. If you're not going to do it, then the rest of your content for the remainder of the time that you're on social media is going to be don't vote for Trump, and it's going to be wah, wah, they call me names, wah, wah. Listen to me, Shanny. Go look at my history. Somebody makes a video about me and I think I need to respond, I respond. And I ain't shy about dropping that link. There is power in confrontation. The problem is that you and Rev are wrong. Rev's a child abuser. Shanny, you're a child abuser. Shanny, you're a con artist. So is Rev. Rev is looking forward to sleeping outside on the streets. And so are you, Shanny. And when people start bringing up why this is the case, you don't want to face it. You don't want to face the truth that you was only with Jason for his money. That was it. That was the only reason you was with him. You don't care about that man. You do not care about him. If you did, you would do what the Bible says, and that's to divide one another's burdens. You can't divide nothing if all you're doing is laying down all day and claiming that you're busting your rump working all the time. You're crazy. I don't think playing Stardew Valley counts as work. Not unless you get money for doing it. Either via salary or per hour or by the end of the day. Or as you used to say, the 21st of every month. But gee, man, I need a YouTube account. Listen to me, Shanny. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I do. I don't even want to hear the YouTube account excuse. I'll give you one of my accounts. I'll let you go in there as long as you promise to deal with the people on here. You can use the account. You can be in charge of the account and everything else in the book, as long as when these people come in, you actually dialogue with them. You have no excuse. And it's more dignity in that than it is getting on here begging for money, saying that you got your man on here saying, don't feed me, guys, feed Shanny. They don't like Shanny, Rev. They don't like her. You can come on here and you can say, do this for Shanny all you want. They don't like her. And the fact that they have more sympathy for a guy who's a child abuser on here, you know what I mean, over her should tell you something. It should tell you something. Because Stevie Wonder can see with his eyes that she played you. And you allowed it to happen. Just like you're allowing her to verbally abuse you. Now, don't get me wrong. You're verbally abusing her too. I'm not going to let you off the hook. Like you don't do anything. But I'm just saying. You two got a lot to hide. You two are wrong about a great many things. And you're going to continue to be wrong about those things. You're going to keep running, and you're going to keep hiding, and you're going to keep running, and you're going to keep hiding, and you're going to keep running, and you're going to keep hiding because you're afraid. You're afraid. You're afraid of the truth. And the truth is that the community's right and you're wrong, Shanny. Now, going back to the actual issue of the video here, Shanny, again, I found you a job. According to you, you did pretty good on OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure if you go back to doing that, you'll be successful at that again because you believe you're all that in a bag of buffalo wings and everything. And then there's a show where you can invite people to your Instagram and you can charge them $2 to talk to you live. Think about that per person. Think about it, Shanny. You claim that there are literally millions of people who watch you on social media. Think about that a minute. If 1 million people came into your room and they paid $2, that's $2 million. If they paid $1, that's $1 million, Shannon, since you're this superstar. I mean, there are people that make videos about me on here. And I know if you've been watching this channel and you've been paying attention, that if they continue to make those videos, or if they're making videos and I need to respond, I will, and I'm going to take care of my business. I ain't afraid of nobody on here. They can't intimidate me. They can't scare me. You, Shanny, all they got to do is go boo, and you're going to go run under your blanket. If you was a Christian, Shanny, let me remind you of a scripture I use when I face the Hebrew Israelites, right? Okay. The righteous, I'm sorry, actually, hold on a minute, because I've actually forgot it by heart. I'll actually find it and I'll quote it for you. Hold on. Oh, okay. I remember now. The Holy Spirit just reminded me. Okay. The wicked flees when no one is chasing them, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The wicked flee when no one is pursuing them, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. You are not bold, Shanny, because you're not righteous. You don't know Jesus. Because if you knew Jesus, you'd have took this idea a long time ago and ran with it. And you would have made enough money to get yourself out of the situation that you're in right now. And Rev, you're so stupid, Rev, when you believed her that you guys are going to make all this money, you're going to be YouTube superstars and all this other stuff and whatnot. You actually believe that, and you won't even tell her to do that. Nope. You are actually the one getting on here making videos, talking about stuff that you're not very good at talking about. She completely destroyed you as far as being a truther. I believe you're a communist now, and you want to leave the United States. You definitely can't tell me you're part of the Republic. You know what I mean? Or you're part of that you agree with capitalism or anything like that. I mean, until it benefits you. You know what I mean? You're a communist, dude. You're a commie now. You're a commie, Rev. That woman changed everything about you. And if you want your identity back, you're going to have to start doing things a little bit differently. By the way, Rev, let me know when you can come outside and play. All right? Because I can set that room up for you, and it'll be yours, and you can confront all your enemies, charge $2 a person, and you can put the link out there and you can deal with them. You can actually earn your money and have some dignity afterward. And now, mind you, they're going to utterly destroy you. They're going to wipe the floor with the two of you, because I believe that you guys lie every time you guys open up your mouth. I mean, they're going to wipe the floor with you. But it would be a good time to try to win some people if I happen to be wrong about anything. I doubt it, but, just in case. Anyway, guys, let me see what you're saying in the chat. How you doing, Carrie? How's it going? Just talking about a job for Shanny. Shanny said she did good with her OnlyFans back in the day. I figured she can go back to doing that. I'm sure she'll make, instead of making $8, she'll make $16 this time. And then I recommended that she do a stream on her Instagram when she invited multiple people in and charged like $2 at a time, and actually confronted her people. She won't do that because her fibromyalgia is so bad. Her arthritis is so bad. The pain in her veins is so bad that she can't even push a button. You know what I mean? That's how much. And by the way, for all the men out there that's looking for a good woman, all the men out there looking for a good woman, Shanny is definitely a catch. Okay? She won't sweep, she won't mop, she won't cook, she won't clean, she won't rub your back, she won't do anything. You, on the other hand, are gonna have to give her all of your money, wipe her butt, wipe her face, do everything for her, and she will be quite the catch for you. Shanny will, if anything happens to Rev, she'll be single for the rest of her existence. Ain't nobody trying to do that, Shanny. Nobody. That's why I recommend you try to make your own money. Either go back into the prostitution business that you thought was lucrative, or you can go back to doing these streams where you can invite people into these rooms and you can actually confront them and face them. All right, just a thought. Talk to you guys later. Let's go to the. I need to make a real outro for this, but for right now.